All right, y'all, welcome back. So today we're going to do the next round of products on the hood of the car. What the plan is today, I just washed the car yesterday. I did a full decon, pre-soaked with Coach Chemi MSN, contact wash with Coach Chemi reactivation shampoo, and then I clayed with Sodero. Everything is fully deconned. It actually, none of that fully killed anything that was on the hood, which a few of these are quick detailers that claim no protection, which is interesting. So that's going to be part of these tests too. Now, a few people have asked what the goal is of this, and I don't think there's a big overarching goal. Really, what I'm looking for is ease of application. You know, does the product go on easily? Does it buff off easily? How long does it last? How hydrophobic is it? And how slick is it? That's one thing we're going to do in the next round. So I'm going to limit it to the back portion of the hood, and then I'm actually on the front, I'm going to put Armour Detail Supply Phobic, just to kind of give a example of what a true coating looks like, hydrophobics versus everything else. And also it'll help that water drain off the front of the hood better, so we can see the hydrophobics a little better. And I can also use that to see how some of these products play topping phobic. So we can use that to test to see if any of the products I test inhibit hydrophobics. I doubt they will, but so we can go ahead and just divide that front panel into 8 sections and then put everything on there. So this is going to be real interesting, but it'll be nice to be able to, definitively say, does this product hurt your hydrophobics if you use it as a topper? Does it hurt your slickness? And then how long does it last, on a hood that's getting wet all the time? And so that wetness will kind of accelerate the death of it, but the good products will show through, the ones that can resist the rain, that can resist the weather. So for now, what we're going to do, I'm going to spray 64-to-1 Armour Detail Supply Hero on the hood and then just hit it with a drying towel since I washed it yesterday and it's just been sitting outside. It's been getting rained on all day, so the hood is already pre-rinsed. And then I'm going to do a quick one-step polish with my ShineMate Rotary, a 5-inch Rupes Rotary fine pad, and some NV Finesse. We're just going to do a quick one-step to get the hood fully stripped, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray it with the Armour Detail Supply Panel Prep, and then we're going to get to putting these products on. So it's going to be 8, and I'm going to show you as I put them on. So I had to take a phone call, so I went ahead and did the quick rinseless on the hood while I was at it. I've got the wipers pulled up just because I'm going to do the armor glass coating on the windshield as well. I had to get a new windshield. So being that all we're doing is just trying to remove this, I'm going to do hopefully I can do this in 3 sections. Just gonna hit this with the rinseless just to make sure that I'm not causing any haze. All right, 3 sections it is. Again, this is Armour Detail Supply Panel Prep. So this is a product you want to soak your panel down with and just let it sit there and break everything down. So while that's eating, I'm going to go ahead and do the windshield. So for the windshield, I'm going to do Angel Wax Resurrection. That's their heavy cut. And I'm going to do it on a 515, the Lake Country foam bowl. nice and grippy surface, as it should. There's no slickness remaining from any of the products. There's no polishing oils left over on the surface. The way it breaks down this angel wax, like I could see it running on the windshield. I definitely couldn't see that with an MB polish on the hood. Everything's all ready. Save it up. I'm going to draw the line. There's a body line that comes up to here. So that is where the phobic is going to start. Alright, so we're going to do a little measuring, just to make sure everything's uniform. Alright, so I got 30 to 31 between these, so is this 15? It is. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we had the same distance from these body lines, so as long as I go right down the middle, we're equal. Again, this whole front portion is going to be Armour Detail Supply phobic. Get the phobic out here. These are auto fiber saver sheets. A little more. This thing's got a pretty long work time. Oh. This has got suede on the back of it. This isn't my normal one. It's the first time I've used one of these. It is really hard to grip. The ones I normally use are microfiber on both sides. So this kind of turned into a train wreck. He's beaten. I got these super cheap towels on Amazon. I use them for the level here. I went through and washed them though. No high spots. All right, first up, McGuire's, the oldie but a goodie, ceramic wax. So I kind of dialed this process in a little bit. So I'm going to use the same towel twice. I'm going to use the first side, one spray, buff, and then flip, buff off. So nice and shook. 6 sprays into an APC bucket outside. And I'm doing this in the garage now because I had a wonderful bit of overspray happen previously. My last round, I went to spray Garage Therapy Sigma at the end, and I sprayed it over the whole hood. This is slicking it up nicely. It smells amazing. It's like blueberry something. This is probably one of my favorite smelling detailing chemicals ever. Product down. Now we flip. Next up, Garage Therapy Sigma. I know we used this last time, but this actually ended up being one of the top performers as far as how well it held up on the rest of the car. So I'm kind of folding this towel now just to get a more accurate representation of the size. You know, because this is a very small portion, you wouldn't be, you know, doing this really. That one's all done. All right, next up, OG Drying Aid, dialed in. Dialed in. One spray. A little more because I got a bit of mist going over the back. Alright. This one got everywhere. I thought I had the spray opened up. Very slick. Feels slick. Next up, I bought a brand new bottle of Armour Amplify just because, you know, I think the results were kind of strange last time. Give it a nice shake. I just use these triggers because they're standard across everything, 1 mil per pull, I know. So, got a little mist. All right. Yeah, this still just isn't the most forgiving for this. The buff on this is real similar to Sigma. Actually, I think it's a little harder. Let's see. Let's see if I fold it up. Ah, it's better. Yeah. It's better. Buff it off. So I feel uniform across the way. That's one thing that I'm doing here, is making sure that everything feels uniform. Love that. The OG Seal and Shine. This is a brand new bottle. Okay. One hole. Definitely the hardest buff so far. It's getting a little slicker. Getting a little slicker. I mean, it's slickening up. It's not great, but it's nowhere close to Amplify. But it's reasonably slick. Next up, Chemical Guys Hydro Speed. Best selling ceramic spray on Amazon. Slick detailer, right? Should be slick. It's pretty much fully gone at this point. Like, I'm not seeing anything else come out of the towel. It does not seem to be changing. I mean, that's reasonably slick. I mean, it's not good. Don't let me make you think this is good, because it's not. But got me a new towel. Tech 582 coming back. I got a little bit of overspray there, so okay. Having this on bare paint is a whole different animal. You really get to feel the application, and this is not as good as this isn't at the top of the list for application. This is actually a little grabbier, and I did not dilute it or anything. Super slick though. Super slick on the buff. Super slick on the buff. Blowing Chemical Guys out of the water. All right, last up. This is Labo Cosmetica Hydro Save 20-to-1. So there is less than 1 ounce of rinseless wash in this bottle. So you could make 30 16-ounce bottles out of one liter bottle. Got the sprayer dialed in. I've tested this multiple times off camera. So this is a little more grabby than Tech. I think at this 20-to-1 concentration, you're going to be more aiming for a wet car. You know, their quick detailer is 50-to-1. That's what they recommend to dilute it at, is 50-to-1. So I went much stronger than that. And that's to see if, you know, are we getting sealant level performances, or 20-to-1. It's not as slick as Tech, but we'll give it time to cure too. It's, you know, at 51 it is easier to spread. For the price, you could go either way. You know, I did it on a wet car and it was actually great, super slick under the towel and everything. So, Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and coat this windshield. I actually got my Velcro block out this time for the saver sheet, but all right, armor glass going on. All right, Joe, I figured I'd give you something to watch while I wrap this up. In the background, I'm doing the ADS glass coating, and I'm doing 2 layers on the driver's side, 1 layer on the passenger side. I like to leave it a little longer before I buff it off. I like my buff offs to be a little more grabby. It just makes me feel like it's set up a little better before, and I'm not pulling as much of the product off the surface in my leveling towel, and I'm just getting more of the transfer solution. But anyway, so I'm going to run through the ease of applications 1 through 8. And so the number 1 on application, in my opinion, was OG Drying Aid. It at the end of the buff on, it wasn't the slickest, but I think through it all, the initial, it was, I don't know that that's an act for me. I'm just always and I'm going to do some kind of ceramic spray rather than a ceramic coating. I'm going to do a spray and rinse first with which sealant, which is my go-to. It's got crazy. I'm going to do just to get a bunch of the water off the surface, and get the water to bead up, and then do a kind of drying it. Anyway, Sigma stayed pretty grippy. There's a lot there. It's a thick product. Amplify, same thing. There's a lot there. So it's just still too much for this section. The Meguiar's did slicken up through the process, so it was pretty grippy at the beginning. Definitely a good bit grippier. I would say the initial first wipe, it was second most grippy, followed by the Seal and Shine. But both the Meguiar's and the Seal and Shine did slicken up through the process. The Hydro Speed, it just felt like there was a notable step down from OG though. So there's a pretty big gap between Tech and then OG, and then a big gap between OG and Hydro Save. And then Seal and Shine was really close to Hydro Save. Meguiar's was right there. I mean, I think Seal and Shine and Meguiar's could trade places at any point. And then Hydro Speed, not really that slick at all. It's just didn't feel like it put a ton of protection down. So, but that wraps that up. We'll give a 1 week update next week, and I'll put all of them on that front section just to see how they play on top of a ceramic coating, just to see if they inhibit anything or affect the protection in any way. And then we'll test the slickness after a week, because that's one of the big things I'm looking for, is how long